Yes, so beautiful people, how you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing beautifully well. Now the rumor reaching us that they said that there was a maiden that was attached to Queen Naomi's chamber in the palace because one thing we should know that ever since Queen Naomi left the palace, Kabiesi decided to still let her place be. Now, I know some persons will say, why should it be so? How many years now did Queen Naomi left the palace? Yes, the palace is so big that there are different, compartments, different apartments, different chalet, different places, different, places in the palace, okay? Different departments and everything. So, Queen Naomi's room is not as if there's no room for maybe guests to put up or people to use that Kabiyesi will now hurriedly decide to discard Queen Naomi's room. No. And another reason again is Queen Naomi has a son for him. If Queen Naomi is going to the palace, maybe Tade will be coming to the palace, maybe for one activity or the other. So where will they put up? So that's the reason why Kabiyesi choose to leave that room. The only thing that happen is time to time, maidens will be assigned to go in there and tidying up things. Why it will be under the palace palace guard supervision, so that nothing will be cut away with. So right now, they said when this particular maiden was asked to go in and, clean up the place, they said she rushed out immediately she went in. They said the guards that were, assigned to watch were like, what is it? What happened? He asked them to come in, that she cannot see these things alone, that they have to just come and see by themselves. My correct people, they say wonder shall never end o, like e no dey end at all. So now when they now went in fact they couldn't behold the sight of what they saw in there. Now what is it that they have seen, my correct people? Like they said, they were really shaking, like literally shaking, okay, because what they heard, in fact, the thing touched them so much. You are welcome back again to my channel. Nice meeting you here once again. It is my pleasure to have you here. If you have been watching, you have not subscribed, subscription is free. All you need to do is just to tap on that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell so whenever I drop my videos, you get notified. Come down the comment section and drop your opinion, what you feel about this very gist. Share so others will learn one or two. And also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up to my returning and, my new subscribers. In fact, I want to say a big thank you to you guys, because you guys are really doing well on this platform. You guys are my real MVPs, okay? I love you guys so much. And I cannot stop praying for you. Okay, yes, I always pray for you because I know that you guys need my prayer in as much as I need your prayers as well. We all need each other's prayers, okay? So my correct people, now they said when they rushed out, they couldn't, behold the sight of what they saw. So they in fact, they quickly rushed to Kabiyesi and informed Kabiyesi what they had seen. And when Kabiyesi asked, he called on one of the palace Ifa priests to go and see what happened. In fact, when this man saw this thing, he was so shocked and surprised, because the first question he asked was, were guards not assigned to watch over this very apartment, this very chamber? They said, yes, of course, they have been the one, watching over this chamber, that what they do, that both of them cannot leave, their duty posts at a time. So if I have any reason to go to do something, I go, you wait. Why, if the other person has any reason to leave to go for something, the other one will go, the other one will stay. There is no how that both of them will leave that place at the same time. And it is a kind of they do what they call rotation, like they do like, for instance, now those who will guard that place this week will be different from the ones that will guard the other week. So it has been like that. And of course, in every week, they always assign maidens to always go in and tidying up the Queen Naomi's chamber, because of course Queen Naomi has a whole lot of properties that are still very there in the palace, stuck there in her chamber, right? Because Kabi is still believing that someday somehow Queen Naomi will return back. So he makes sure that he keeps that place in a very good shape. So now, when the Ifa priest saw what he saw, he quickly rushed back to Kabiyesi and said, Kabiyesi will need to come and see this thing by himself, because, Irohi Koto Afojuba, okay, that nothing like you seeing by yourself, so that we can know what to do. That was how Kabiyesi rose from his throne and he went straight to Queen Naomi's chamber. And when he got there, he was also shocked himself. Was like the question he was asking: were people not assigned to be here? Why come these things happen? That they need to ask questions. And even the guards were like, even they were surprised, because what they usually do, right, before they hand over to the next persons, they said the palace head, the palace security head will come, open the place, they will check around and say, okay, everything is intact, before the next shift will now take over. Before this very shift took over, just to make sure that everything was in order, because of course, when you live in a place where it's filled with different kinds of human beings, you have to make sure to you double check, okay, just to be sure, just to be on the safe side. So that has been the routine. So they checked before these people took over. They said, of course, they did the usual checking. So where is this coming from? And ever since they took over, obviously they cannot do something that will implicate them, because they are the one watching over this very place. So if anything should go wrong, they know that they will be held responsible. So there's no how they will be the one to also do things like this, knowing fully well that a maiden will be coming to, tidying up the place. So they were like, so immediately they said if a priest asked Kabiyesi to hold on while he do some consultations to know what actually happened. That was how they said this. If a priest sat down and he started consulting. Upon consulting, he now discovered that, my people, they say, wonder will never end in this life that we are. When he consulted, he now discovered that it was a spiritual work. It wasn't a physical thing. That was why the guards were not aware. And this particular thing they placed in that house, they did it over the night, like midnight. It wasn't a day thing. Now the question is, for what purpose or for what reason that these things happen? Now, when they search further, if a priest told Kabiyesi that the reason why they did this is just to scare the staff, the domestic staff, from going to tidying up Queen Naomi's apartment, because they feel that Queen Naomi is not around. Why should she be getting this kind of, attention, even despite her absence? Yet her things, her property, ordinary property, ordinary thing that we don't know. After all, the place is lock and key. Why would they now still keep guards to be watching over her place? That, like, Queen Naomi is getting too much. Like, no, this is way too much for her. She can't be getting this kind of huge, love and care, okay? Even caring for her property, not even herself, but her property. What? Omo, they said it's not a small thing. They said Kabiyesi was like, eh? So to the person that did this now, he thought they can just do this to just scare the staff, so that they will not go. Who among the staff will now want to disobey his order, as Kabiyesi that he is? Now, why is it that when some people want to do something, they will not think far? Omo, they said, okay, this if a priest started, checking again to find out who this might be, who is this person who will do this kind of a thing. The next thing they heard was that is one of the ayabas. not even the Oloris now, the Ayabas in the palace. You know, one thing we've heard before is that in the palace of Kabiyesi that we see, according to what we have heard, going by history, not just, by this our very Kabiyesi o Kade pẹ́ lórí kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀ àmì àṣẹ. It's not just about Ọ̀jájá Ìkejì, okay, but it is about the fact that Kabiyesi is about the fact that it has been the routine, it has been the law, so to say, that these things has been like that. It has been the culture, the tradition of the people, that in the palace of the Oni of Ife, not just the Oni of Ife, according to the history, even the Alaafin of Oyo, most of these top palaces, they have a whole lot of ayabas that are there in the palace, who serve as wives also to the king. But it's just that they separated some to be the celebrated one, because obviously Kabiyesi cannot be packing all his wives along, like going everywhere. And also, when you get to the Oba of Benin Palace today, I will also not be surprised to see that there are other wives that are not known to the public, but they are there in the palace, serving as wives as well. But they see to the domestic running of the affairs of the palace, okay? Because these celebrated ones, they believe that they are the one busy going, following the king to one activity or the other, attending to guests, doing things like that. But these wives are there to maintain the palace, to see to the day-to-day running and the maintenance of the entire palace, but as well as serving as wives to the monarch. So that is exactly, they said it is one of those ayabas who actually did these things, because there are a whole lot of ayabas. Now, what they are trying to investigate further is to know the particular ayaba that did this and the reason behind it. My correct people, this is what I came across. I will still come back here and tell you more on this, how they were able to get the ayaba and everything. So I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you so much, my correct people. To my returning and my new subscribers, I want to say a big thank you to you. I want to say happy Sunday, and may God Almighty continue to bless you, guide you, protect you all the days of your life. Thank you so much. Till I come your way again, have a beautiful day. Bye for now.